You know, Jerry, I'm not going to tell you that these will increase in value or even hold their current value. The truth is, you bought them because you like them. They have value to you. That's what matters.
What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. So it's Saturday. Hope you're having an awesome weekend. Now, I know if you woke up this morning and had a look at any of these charts, well, you're probably having a good day so far. So that being said, before we move on, I just wanted to give a shout out to everyone who's been liking, subscribing, and commenting. You guys rule. Also, Crypto J from the Crypto Zombies community was kind enough to give me a box of shirts, so we've been giving them away. So I have a large Crypto Zombies t-shirt right here, and if you're interested, I realize it just got a little bit blurry, but yeah, if you're interested, just drop a comment below, say something about the shirt so that I know you're interested, and I will do a drawing tomorrow. Now, having a look at the markets, we have a $131 billion market cap. Bitcoin still up 4.7% on the day, around $3,900. XRP 37 cents. Ethereum $137. Now, have a look at this. Ethereum is up 12%, while XRP is only up 5.7%, and these guys are only sitting $1 billion market cap apart. So could we potentially see Ethereum, flip back to second place again? It's gonna be an interesting few months, definitely moving forward, seeing what's happening in the markets. But that being said, if we have a look at the biggest gainers of the day, we have Zilliqa up 22%, and our buddy Dentacoin, gotta love the dentist coin, up 22. Pivx, DigixDAO, 10x, Bug Euro, whatever, Aurora, Ethereum, Augur, and Holochain all doing quite well. Having a look at this, guys, I don't have to tell you what happened. Pretty much right around, it was literally an hour before I put out my video yesterday, and all of a sudden it was just boom, skyrocketed. We went all the way from around $3,500. Actually, we touched 39 and then pulled back just a little bit. So currently we're sitting around here. Now, could we have a massive drop again? It's possible. It's totally possible. If we can go up this fast, we can go down that fast. But let's see what's going on. So obviously we had a massive spike yesterday. As you can see, the Bitcoin to dollar rate noted sudden spikes at the beginning of the U.S. session after spending the day inside a narrow trading range. The move occurred just around 3,600. We just talked about that. The U.S. dollar fell broadly Friday as investors predicted Federal Reserve policy to be bearish for the greenback next year. The conclusion got derived from the Fed funds futures, which showed that the odds that the central bank would raise interest by the end of Q4 2019 are less than 1%, showing a 32% decline. Now, the only reason that I'm bringing this up is because I've heard so many people in the community talking about the relationship between traditional stocks and crypto currently, so I figured we might as well just touch on it since everyone's going to be talking about it anyway. So obviously, if you have a look right here, you see that the hourly chart put Bitcoin inside of an oversold area, interestingly enough. So according to the RSI indicator, it has allowed us to begin the day with a short trade while keeping our parameters fixed between 3,900 and 3,824 roughly. So as you can see right here, even if you move over to the trading view, buy sell meter, you could see that some people are saying it's a sell. It's a mild sell, okay? It's not way down in strong sell territory, but this is just what these guys are saying, okay? So obviously, it says that Bitcoin could potentially retest that $4,000 mark, even that $4,236 mark. However, as we stated yesterday, if we don't break through this, we're really just hitting higher lows. You see what I'm saying? So that's pretty much something that I just wanted to bring up. Now, let's talk about the correlation between, Bitcoin and these other commodities. Well, there was a recent report in the Wall Street Journal that was talking about how Bitcoin is actually becoming increasingly mainstream as an asset, and it's starting to develop somewhat of a correlation between traditional assets like gold. So the report also goes in to say that the increase in institutional funding, venture capital investments, and growing mainstream adoption as possible factors behind this also could have something to do with the correlation of the traditional markets, because these people, a lot of them are coming from these markets, right? So technically speaking, we can't really jump the gun just yet because Bitcoin has actually never lived through a global financial crisis. In fact, Bitcoin was created as a response to the global financial crisis of 2008, but we've never actually seen it, existing, living through yet another one. So they also reported that on a scale of -1 to +1, which ranges that, I guess they use this to talk about how it's correlated with gold and something like that. They're saying that roughly it's 0.84 correlation to gold over the past 5 days, which I guess says it's a pretty decent correlation. Also, Bitcoin traded at around 0.77 correlation to the Chicago Board of Exchange's VIX index, which measures market volatility and is widely seen as a fear gauge. So the report also notes that Bitcoin's increasingly mainstream nature is being driven by an influx of institutional funding and more venture capital investments entering the industry. So we have Fidelity Investments, they're coming in as well. And don't forget, we have the OTC exchange traded Bitcoin ETF Trust sold by Grayscale Investments. A lot of people don't really talk about them, but we just proved the other day that Grayscale owns 1%, probably more at this point, of the total supply of Bitcoin. So just pointing that out, right? They also explained that Grayscale's ETF has grown from having a mere $3.5 million under management in 2013 to highs of approximately $3.5 billion by the end of 2017. Now, I'm sure they're a little bit lower, given the pullback. But also, if you look back in 2013, VC investments in blockchain and crypto basically were around 96 million, whereas you had over 500 million at the end of 2016 and a massive 2 billion by the end of 2017. So as more companies begin to release their products aimed at onboarding mainstream institutions into the cryptocurrency markets throughout the next year, Bitcoin's status as both a mainstream investment vehicle and a safe haven investment will become increasingly clear. Now, staying on the same topic, okay? The stock market has obviously been extremely volatile lately, way more than usual, with analysts speculating the following factors are artificially inflating or deflating the stock prices. Now, Bitcoin Ben had a video that maybe you guys should check out and watch where he talks about what he thinks that's going on. But basically, you have Federal Reserve raising interest rates for the fourth time in 2018, concerns over a global recession, and market manipulation by institutional investors. So what is the impact of this? Well, we know that crypto has whales, right? There's Bitcoin whales. We saw XRP whales moving money the other day. But the interesting thing is that the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency whales tend to not be as nefarious as these other guys. For example, it turns out that unlike equity markets, they actually suggest that Bitcoin whales have a stabilizing effect on the crypto ecosystem. Actually, according to data compiled by blockchain analytics firm Chainalysis, Bitcoin whales are actually a pretty heterogeneous group, and more than half are not even active traders. They're basically long-term hodlers, okay? The report also suggests that a few Bitcoin whales who do generally trade tend to buy and not sell during market slumps. So everyone out there that's blaming it on these whales actually are helping us, and we have some of them that we're very well aware of. They go on down here to talk about Tim Draper. He's obviously a massive whale as well. So that's just something interesting to talk about, but it is not to say that without a doubt we are going to see some massive cleansing, some massive purging of these, altcoins that are pretty much garbage and no one's really using them. So, let's talk about some that have gone, RIP Lotto Coin, Titanium, they had a situation with the SEC, Pincoin, Fitcoin, and BitConnect! Let's not forget our favorite coin of all time, BitConnect! That's right, guys, BitConnect, which, man, imagine that. Look at that. That's got to be the worst looking chart I've ever seen. So the question is, has crypto grown in 2018 though? Well, Matty Greenspan, he's over at eToro. He had this article that he put out, and he was talking about how some people were worried that, Bitcoin is related to things that are happening traditionally. For example, like the government shutdown, right? So he says that their logic is that due to the shutdown, we may see a delay in the launch of Bakkt, as Bakkt is still pending regulatory approval. Many think that the shutdown could affect this time frame. Furthermore, many people now seem certain that the delay will last about 2 weeks. He says, I don't think that any crypto investor is really going to start selling coins they've been holding for more than a year over a 2-week delay. Come on, realistically. He says, we really need to stop watching ETFs and institutional products as our primary indicator for industry success. I agree. It's kind of hard not to. He also goes into talking about the USD gold thing, which we just talked about. So did Bitcoin actually grow in 2018? Well, a lot of people will say, no, it didn't. Now, did you see that price? Absolutely not. Well, judging by market prices, crypto assets haven't done that well. However, price is a rather slippery indicator when trying to measure growth. So if you truly want to get an understanding of how adoption of crypto is looking on the ground, we have to take a look at several different factors. So the first would be, stats like transactional rate, volume. And now we know a lot of these guys are faking their volume. But that being said, if you take, for example, infocharts.com, you can see right here that by both of these measures above and below, we can see that the usage of Bitcoin's blockchain is down from last year, but it's still up compared to previous years. I mean, as you can see right here, this represents that massive bubble that we had. But if you also just look at the trajectory, I mean, look at this, we're still going up. And this isn't like logarithmic. This is just actual, use. So that's pretty good news. Also, scrolling down, you have ATMs. All right. We've seen how many Bitcoin ATMs? Almost double this year, right? According to Coin ATM Radar. So yeah, we went from like 2,000 to 4,000, as we could see. But what about people actually adopting it? What about merchants, right? Screw the ATMs. I want to go to the desk and I want to buy something and I want them to just take my Bitcoin. Well, the number of merchants, according to coinmap.com, has actually grown as well. Now, it hasn't grown as sharp as it did last year. Last year was just a massive boom, but it hasn't slowed down to the point where it's reversed or stopped. It still is going upwards, which is good. As you can see right here, surprisingly, there's a lot of growth in the United States despite all the SEC regulations and the doom and gloom that we hear about, right? And also, breaking down data from CoinMarketCap, we could see a total growth in 2018 of 25.18%, which, once again, is not as big as 2017, but if you have a look at it right here, inevitable growth is still happening. So the question is, did the network grow? Well, I think your answer is pretty much black and white here. Of course, yes, it did. So let's talk about this CoinDesk 2018 year in review that they've been doing. I have found some of the coolest articles recently. Now, these are basically guests that get to just kind of, come out and just write an article. So you have Shiv Madan, the CEO and co-founder of blockchain ticketing company Block Party. So he pretty much talks about crypto, well, he talked about crypto Twitter, okay? So, I mean, I'm more of a YouTube guy. I like making videos. I'm not that active on Twitter. I do have a Twitter account. It's at the Crypto Zombie. You can follow me, but I prefer YouTube. I like making videos. But he talks about, you may have seen all these different things, for example, hashtag XRP Army, or you may ridicule the XRP Army by being a Bitcoin hashtag maximalist, right? Or perhaps you prefer to stay out of it and spread peace, joy, and Dogecoin memes for all, to laugh and smile about. But whatever the faction you sympathize with and whatever argument you might find convincing, almost inevitably, FUD is going to set in. Whatever philosophical, economic, or technological position you may hold, chances are there's someone out there with a vested interest in disparaging or debunking it, right? So, we were talking about Nano the other day. Oh, Nano's garbage, blah, 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 I mean, listen, guys, the Venezuelans are using it. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it's working for them. Maybe it's not, maybe for us in the US, maybe that's not the coin of choice, right? But inevitably, you are seeing that no matter what coin it is, whether you're talking about Neo or you're talking about Elastos or Tron or Cardano, Icon, any of these, right? EOS. There's always a fraction of people that just absolutely can't stand the other coin, and they'll just do anything in their power to create FUD around it, right? So besides constantly putting one crypto project or ideology against the other, hashtag wars offer bad actors convenient entry into cryptocurrency. Just think about it. How many scammers have attempted bot-powered pump and dump schemes? How many identity thieves have latched on to fake Twitter handles and domain names in hopes of, quick paydays for slow learners, right? Surely there must be a more productive use for all of this energy. Think about how huge the community is and imagine what we can do together. And I know how corny that sounds. I'm sure you're probably listening to me like, come on, K-Dub, that's so corny. But it's true. We're very small. We're like 1%, if that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you see these surveys globally. I think 5% or like 5 or 8% of people in the US have bought Bitcoin, 1% globally or something like that. So we're not exactly this massive space, guys. So, like he says, a call for peace. A rare point of consensus is that cryptocurrency needs to make its way further into the mainstream. And while some responsibility for improving the dialogue on crypto Twitter and crypto YouTube and all these news sites, etc., may fall into the hands of the people themselves. I mean, yeah, YouTube can, ban accounts that are talking about Bitcoin connect, and Twitter can ban or shadow ban accounts that are giving ETH giveaways, but inevitably these scammers and these bots are going to find ways around it. But the hardest and most important work must be done by the cryptocurrency community themselves, ourselves, you, me, anybody watching right now. To make the case for our relevance is necessary, that we need to actually stand up and we need to make the change that we want to see, okay? Just pointing it out there, I just gotta be real. Sometimes between the debates, the trolling, the hashtags, it's easy to lose sight of the end goal. Cryptocurrency's ultimate transformative potential, okay? Why we got into this in the first place. Maybe you got into it for the money. I don't know. I don't know why you're here. Maybe you're just here to make money. Listen, I want to make money. I'm not happy that I've been losing money all year, but I also realize how boom and bust cycles work, and I am getting so much better at picking and choosing more carefully the projects that I pay attention to and I choose to invest in. And I hope that if you've been going through this journey with me throughout this year, that you've also bettered yourself and been able to make a lot smarter decisions financially and even just health-wise too. Like one of the things I know I'm getting off topic, but one of the things I want to point out to you guys is there's 3 things in this world that you should never let control you, okay? Number 1 is other people. Number 2 is money. And number 3 is past experiences, okay? People should never be able to control you. Money should never be able to control you. You can always get more money. You can go to a job. You can sell things on eBay. There's so much money in this world. If you lost money, you can get more money. And the final thing is past experiences, meaning if you lost money in this market, don't get salty. I mean, we all get upset, but it's most important that we learn from our mistakes and we continue to educate, okay? The best thing that you could do is if you got hacked or you lost money or you screwed up, the best thing you can do is educate the next person to not make that same mistake again. And that's the responsibility that we take as the pioneers in this space, okay? And that's why I do what I do every day. And I continue to make videos, you know? Because I really believe in it. So I guess long story short, if we really want to see a change, you know, man in the mirror, right? Best place to start. Right? Okay. So enough with that. Moving on. I mean, guys, it's been an incredible year, you know, and I say to myself, I see people like, oh, I'm not buying Bitcoin at these prices. I mean, you're literally, I don't know. To each your own, do what you want, not financial advice. Anyway, you know, you could just deal with these centralized things. For example, Hacker News, they just put this out that says PayPal has permanently banned all of our accounts without mentioning any reason and hold wallet funds wrongly for 180 days. Upon asking Ask PayPal, they also refuse to share any details. Now, this is Hacker News. They're not even like a full-on crypto website. You know, they deal with all kinds of different things like cybersecurity and different technology, hacking and, you know, enthusiasts and stuff like that. And these guys are getting banned by PayPal. So, you know, censorship resistance, that could be the one thing that ends up separating the space from the rest as well. Now, let's talk about a big story that was going on yesterday. I wasn't talking about this actually, but a lot of other sources were. So major hard wallets vulnerabilities have been exposed. That's right, hardware wallets. Beware, no one is safe, right? So let's talk about this. Let's see what happened. So there was this video that came out, and it says a research team claims that they were able to successfully hack the Trezor 1 and Ledger Nano S and Ledger Blue wallets, okay? So I'm having this video kind of just show you what's going on. So the wallet fail hack took place at the 35C3 Refreshing Memories conference. So the team was able to exploit a weakness in Trezor 1 hardware wallets, which didn't have a set passphrase by the owner, extracting the private keys by overwriting data using a custom firmware. The CTO of Trezor's parent company, Satoshi Labs, responded on Twitter saying that a firmware upgrade will be established at the end of the month. Now, I don't personally use Trezor. I've always been a Ledger person. I love my Ledger. Like, it's honestly my favorite hardware wallet. It's my only hardware wallet, but I love it. Anyway, but so it looks like Ledger Nano S was found to allow the installation of any firmware, which the research team exploited by playing Snake on the device. Okay, now stay with me on this. Okay, so they were able to play Snake on the device, okay? Ledger Blue also showed weaknesses, leaking signals as radio waves when operating, which according to the researchers were strong enough to be detected from several meters away, were able to be infiltrated when a USB cable was attached. However, I just want to point out that the funds were not actually able to be seized. I just want to point that out. They weren't able to get the money. Now, let's see how the response was to this. So basically, you have this that came out. This is the video, which was just playing. If you guys want to watch it again, you can. So basically, Ledger believes that the 3 researchers did not provide practical vulnerabilities. Firstly, the researchers performed an attack that modified the physical wallet and used malware on the cryptocurrency owner's PC in combination with a potential attacker in a nearby room needing to remotely enter the hacked PIN and launch the cryptocurrency application. This is extremely unpractical. Yes, unpractical. Guys, this is my Ledger Nano S, okay? Do you understand what they're saying you'd have to do in order to achieve what they just said they did? It's not like, oh, somebody got my ledger and every average person can just, get on this, right? So I just want to point that out. Also, Ledger does acknowledge that there is a bug in the firmware function that allowed the researchers to add the software. So they are being very transparent about this. They say the bug's been solved in the device's next firmware version and that the bug doesn't allow anything other than a JTAG debug interface. The researchers were unable to access cryptocurrency funds. I repeat, they were not able to access the funds. So for everybody freaking out over this hardware FUD, you're fine. Don't freak out. Like, do you know how skilled these people were to just be able to achieve what they achieved, and also how difficult it was to do what they did, and yet after all that, all they could do was play Snake? Okay, so lastly, now let's talk about the Ledger Blue. That's something that people are concerned about. Now, I've never owned the Ledger Blue. That's a touchscreen. So obviously, when you're adding a touchscreen, that's potentially more points of failure, right? So they talked about this, and they say that there's a situation when a PIN was entered that the tactic could lead an attacker calculating a user's PIN. Now, Ledger says that the posed attack is interesting, but in real conditions would mean a device has to remain in the same position as when a dictionary of emanations was recorded, so is again likely. It looks like Ledger had already been considering such attacks, so I know for a fact they did an upgrade on the Ledger right here so that it randomizes the digits when you enter your passcode. It used to always start at 0, right? So if, say, somebody was in another room, they could listen to clicks, right? Like if I did it 3 times, that would be number 3. 5 times, number 4, right? Well, now Ledger randomizes that, so it doesn't matter how many clicks it has. It starts on different numbers every time. So that's an update, just kind of getting that out of the way. And yeah, I mean, you could basically go on here and look at it. Trezor also responded as well. They said that you can set a passphrase feature. However, you got to be careful because if you do, then you will lose your funds. But basically, it's not really anything to worry about. None of these bugs are that serious, guys. So I just wanted to point that out. I mean, I've been using my Ledger for a year and a half now. I've never had any issues with anything. I mean, not even like short-term things where I oh my God, freaked out over like a little glitch. I mean, it's literally been a smooth experience. So just wanted to point that out, guys. Also, if you want to read the full response from Ledger right here, it's a little bit of a mini novel, but if you're really looking to protect yourself and you're honestly, genuinely concerned, I will drop this below. Please read this, okay? Just, it's like a 10-minute read. You owe it to yourself to be safe. All right, guys? So moving on, I do want to let you know they're still doing 30% off Ledger Nano S's. So if you guys want, I do have a link below. It helps out the channel. Doesn't cost you a thing. You don't have to, but they usually don't do these 30% discounts off. So I wouldn't freak out, guys. I wouldn't not buy a hardware wallet just because of that. So moving on, having a look at what's going on with some coin news today. Well, Charles Hoskinson says there's some good news. There's some good Cardano-related news coming soon. Announcements of announcements, huh? Now, where have we heard that before? All right, moving on. So we also have Digitex. It looks like that they are announcing that in response to an increasing number of requests from the members of their community, that they're going to be actually launching an OTC desk to facilitate transactions of 500,000 DGTX tokens or more. So this is pretty cool, and I'm definitely a fan of this concept. It's a bit of an experiment, but I love the idea that you have to use the Digitex token. I think that's brilliant because, we were having this argument over utility tokens saying, well, what's the point? All these different blockchains, they have utility tokens, but we don't need them. You need them for Digitex. You have to use them. So I think it's brilliant. I really do. I did an interview, actually, if you guys want to check that out. Now, I don't know if this is necessarily XRP Ripple news, but Visa is actually acquiring a Ripple partner, Earthport, a payment network for cross-border transactions. So Earthport is a financial service firm that offers cross-border payment services to banks and financial institutions. They're also a partner of Ripple, where the partnership is aimed at integrating the Ripple protocol into the firm's existing payment network to improve internal transactions. Now, I personally as of the time of making this video, things could change tomorrow. I don't know what this partnership is going to entail. If Visa acquires Earthport and Earthport is working with Ripple, I don't know how they're all going to end up working with each other. But I do know that back in October, it says that Visa was readying its blockchain-based digital identity system, Visa B2B Connect. And this was for cross-border payments. They were hoping to launch it first quarter of 2019. The system reportedly tokenizes sensitive business data such as banking details and account numbers, granting them a unique cryptographic identifier that will be used for transactions on the platform. So very interesting to see how this is going to play out. I'm pretty excited, guys. We also have Samsung reportedly seeking new ways to obtain a UK trademark for the creation of its own cryptocurrency wallet. As the classes and terms section of the application reveal, Samsung cites the developments as computer software for use as a cryptocurrency wallet, computer software for cryptocurrency transfer and payment using blockchain technology. So basically, the application shows that Samsung is looking to include a cryptocurrency cold wallet potentially into their Galaxy 10 smartphone. So if they actually put a cold wallet in, that'd be pretty interesting. And then you're pretty much just seeing, now you got all these guys. You got Finney, you got the HTC One, you got Samsung coming out now. So it looks like this may be just a standard rollout, right? You might just start seeing phones just coming out with cold storage devices. How much easier would that make it for people in the future? Also wanted to talk about this. So you have NVIDIA recently been hit with a class action lawsuit over its statement on the influencing cryptocurrency mining had on its business this year. Now remember, a lot of people were saying that NVIDIA, the stocks were crashing because, the miners were basically pulling the plug on everything. So Shaw Law, a US-based shareholder rights litigation firm, announced that filing of the class action lawsuit, as according to the NVIDIA, violated the Securities Act of 1934. Gotta love it. All right. Per the complaint, NVIDIA made false and misleading statements to the market. They touted its ability to monitor the cryptocurrency market and make rapid changes to its business as necessary. The company claimed to be masters at managing their channel, and they understood the channel very well. NVIDIA also claimed to the market that any drop-off in demand for its GPUs amongst cryptocurrency miners would not negatively impact the company's business because of strong demand for GPUs from the gaming market. Although this chart begs to differ. So, reacting to NVIDIA's results, investors clearly sold their stock. So, yeah, basically they said that NVIDIA's statements were false and materially misleading throughout the class period. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about the NVIDIA thing? I mean, should they really be getting hit with a class action lawsuit over this? I mean, I don't know. Give me your opinion. Oh, that was 3. Take a shot. Okay, so now moving on. It's a joke from yesterday's video. If you didn't get it, watch yesterday's video. So according to a report published by Finance Magnet on, this was actually December 26th, Japan-based company Mizuho Financial Group is primed to launch its yen-pegged cryptocurrency. So this is their second largest bank in Japan. It says the cryptocurrency being introduced by Mizuho will have parity with the Japanese yen and can be used to make and receive payments through a mobile phone app, so users won't have to pay any fees while transferring the digital currency between their bank accounts and smartphones. In exchange for facilitating feeless transactions, the banks would actually benefit by collecting more refined data on consumer spending patterns. So good luck, with that. Anyway, I was going to make a joke about people buying drugs, but it's probably not appropriate. So anyway, the yet-to-be-named digital coin will be rolled out. I mean, realistically, what are you going to buy drugs with? You're going to use cash. Let's just be honest. Unlike some people like to say. But anyway, so yeah, it looks like some retail shops and banks are going to be adopting this, and shops that use the cryptocurrency are going to be charged significantly lower fees than compared to that of credit card services. And big news coming out of Italy. The Italian government has published a list of 30 blockchain high-level experts to further its interrogation of the technology at the state level. So the result of the 4-month hiring and consulting process, basically they're going to be yada, yada, yada. I'm just going to kind of skip through this. So long story short, the project is being convened by the Italian Ministry of Economics Development, and the Deputy Prime Minister had this to say: emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence and blockchain are intended to radically change our lives, the society in which we live, and the economic and productive fabric of the country. So there we go. Italy is getting on board, guys. That is freaking awesome. So that's it for me today, guys. guys, before we go, I just wanted to say thank you so much to everyone who's been liking, subscribing, commenting. You guys are freaking awesome. I don't have it pulled up today. I forgot. But as you guys know, the Blockchain Brief is still doing their first month free until the end of the year. So if you guys want to sign up for the newsletter, I write for the newsletter every month. It's $55 for the year. You get your first month free. You know, you don't have to. Obviously, every issue from the previous month, we just released totally for free. So if you want to wait, you can just get it for free. Yeah, and that's basically it, guys. Also, yeah, screw the FUD, man. Go pick up a ledger. I love it. I use it every single day, so don't listen to that. Anyway, but, you know, you do have to be safe. So that being said, guys, I want to say thank you so much once again for stopping by on a weekend. It is Saturday. Hope you're enjoying yourself. Everyone that's been smashing the like button, you know, joining the Telegram, signing up for the newsletter. Honestly, just stopping by, saying what up, and just dropping a comment below. That's enough for me, guys, you know? So yeah, if you guys like the channel and you're new, subscribe. If not, hey, welcome back. And that being said, I'll most likely make a video tomorrow. I mean, I know I usually say I won't on Sundays, but let's be real. I'm going to start pacing the floors at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and you know, I'm going to want to make a video anyway. So I'll probably see you guys tomorrow. That being said, if you guys want the t-shirt, you know what to do. And that's it for me, guys. I'm out for today. Actually got some stuff to do with family today. So, you know, very important. Spend some time with loved ones. That being said, my name is K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto and peace out.